everyone, and welcome back to Season 2 of Kieran's Streamer Stories. We are back for summer. My uni's over. I am ready. The old series kind of like had to stop because I completely burnt out. I had no time for anything since I was doing it weekly. So this time around, it's going to be bi-weekly. So 1 week to record, 1 week to edit. So I can still have a social life and work. And I think I'm going to post things on Tuesdays. That seems to be the best day for me in order to work on things. And this season is going to be like a bit less serious. I think I took it too seriously last time. Like, this has to be a Twitch podcast. And they're going to focus more on the person and just having a good time and a good chat. So you can listen to it on Tuesday as it is released in the evening. Today, we have an absolute banger of a guest. Everyone will be very excited when they see the announcement that is coming out later. This person has 244 followers, is Eurotruck's safest driver ever, it's official, and is an absolute lover of pink. It is the wonderful Dboopy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. I'm melting, but I'm doing amazing.
We have this. Well, I say we. I decided to record this on the hottest day ever in the
So
UK,
hot.
literally ever.
It's crazy.
In recorded history, it's the hottest. So that was a good call from me.
We had a thunderstorm today. It rained. We had a thunderstorm. It reached lows. Well, I say lows. At one point, it was 21 degrees.
That's freezing.
I was like, it's a bit chilly. It's actually cold, so I don't know where you are, but
I'm in the southeast, and it's very, very hot.
yes. Quite the opposite. But yeah, it was all of a sudden it was just like lightning through the windows, like bah, bah, and everyone was like, ah! Yes, started pouring down the rain.
I'm so jealous. I'm not even kidding. I'm so jealous. My car had an MOT today, and I had to go out in the heat to get it, and it was the worst. The steering wheel was on fire. But enough about how hot it is, because that's what everyone's talking about at the moment. We're going to jump straight into Dboopy. We're going to jump straight in. Let's tell me your childhood.
Tell me your childhood.
Tell me your childhood. Give us a brief outline of young Dboopy. Where did you grow up? What did you do? Who did you see? Give us a rundown.
Yeah, so I grew up in loads of different places, but generally all down south. I've never lived anywhere in the Midlands, never lived in the north. I'm a southern girl through and through. Think of that what you may. And yeah, my parents like moved around quite a bit when I was little, so I lived in a few different places because my parents do things with the church. It's probably about the best way I can kind of explain that. But it meant that it meant that I had to move around, and I did find that like that's not something normal people do, and I was completely unaware of it, I think, when I was a kid. And I just kind of thought, next to the next person. But it's only when you kind of sat having dinner next to your best friend who's come over, and your parents are like ready to pray, and your next best friend's already started eating before they're praying, and you'd realise that all of a sudden you're not not doing the same thing as everybody else, because everybody else is completely unaware of your the way you grew up. So it was kind of like a weird sort of balancing act between me trying to be really cool and hip and like growing up and being like, the coolest person in the room, always the funniest or whatever, but also having my parents, which I felt was so uncool. I was like, my parents are the uncoolest people and they're bringing me down. So that was all in my head. And then I suppose it was kind of as I was kind of maybe like 7 or 8, and one of my best friends started getting bullied, and I tried to stick up for her, and then I got bullied as well, and they were bringing the church thing into it, and then that kind of stuck. So I found I was struggling with like a little bit of bullying here and there from about 7 to maybe like year 8. So like, how was that? That's like maybe 8 years or so.
Year 13. So you're about 13 in year 8, I think. So about 5 years.
5 years, yeah. Yeah, so maybe about that long. And then, starting secondary school, I was like, oh, yeah, that's okay. I can actually turn this around, and I can actually start not biting back, but I suddenly realised that actually I don't need to just hide behind some small child, although I am very small. And that has not changed.
Nope, yep.
But I was starting to realise that actually my height, my stature doesn't make a difference, and I was able to actually kind of come back and be like, yeah, actually, you know, you might not think I'm cool, but I think I'm pretty cool. And I think my friends are cool, and my, you know, the way I do things is all right. It sort of put me in a whirlwind of emotions moving around, because especially when you're growing up, you don't want to be sort of losing your friends, and that's what it felt like, because it was like, oh well, I'm moving away, so I'm going to lose all my friends. And I remember I wrote to like a YouTuber that I followed at the time, and I was like, I'm losing all my friends, and nobody's ever going to like me where I moved to. I just really feel like nobody's going to like me. And you know, that was wrong, and I didn't know it at the time, but it was, you know, people just find their friends, you know, you just find a group of people who you feel comfortable around. And I did when I moved away. But it kind of threw me into this swirling depression, and then a weird ex-boyfriend, all sorts of things that just I didn't know it was coming. I suppose you never do you? You don't see what's sort of ahead of you.
I mean, I personally can't see into the future. I don't know about other people. I don't want to speak for other people.
I feel like there are people that can, and I don't trust them.
I don't. If anyone can,
if you can,
write in, let us know.
Up.
We'll get you on the pod.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to know about it, because that'd be helpful. I mean, I could have done with it like 10 years ago, but yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. We all could have used it at some point.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah. Just tell us if the climate change is going to kill us by the time it's 2050, please. Please just let us know.
I reckon it will.
It probably will. Yeah. But yeah, I think I went through a whole bunch of like really low sort of moments of like, I think it was kind of stemmed from the bullying, but then also that obviously leads into your self-confidence and how you feel about yourself and how you feel about people, and are they looking at me, what do they think about me, do they like the clothes that I'm wearing, or are they charity shop clothes, do they hate me for wearing charity shop clothes, like all those kinds of things. And you don't realise, I suppose, when you're a teenager, that in the future that's not going to matter at all, and you're gonna find that like all those things were completely pointless to worry about. But it did help to like, I can look back now and be like, yeah, it's better. Like I look in the mirror now and I'm like, yeah, that's me.
That's me, baby.
I'm looking pretty cool. But yeah, it took a long time for me to actually feel like it didn't matter. Feel like it it doesn't matter. I am who I am. And sometimes I'm going to do things a funny way, and I'm going to say things because I mumble my words all the time, and I say things that don't make sense to people. And it took me a long time to realise that actually, if that's the case, like, people will get over it. Nobody is sat there thinking in the middle of the night at like 4 o'clock in the morning, what did Dboopy mean? What did she mean? Because she is talking some crap. What was she on about? And I think my streaming has got an essence of that. Because I know that when I'm talking and when I'm saying things, if people are listening, then they, you know, tried to piece together a full sentence, they might not find one. But but at least I'm, you know, I'm getting my point across in some way or another. I found a lot of confidence coming into, like, once I'd left school, and coming into work and stuff, and like with my husband and things, I built a lot of confidence that way. And I suppose it takes you looking back at yourself and having all these emotional reflections on how you're doing, to reach that point. But I feel really content now, and I think I didn't for a long time, but now I'm like, yeah, it's all right, I'm doing okay.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, how in depth do you want me to be?
Well, I don't think I had a choice there, really.
It was coming at you. It's
yeah, no, it was.
Pew,
no,
pew.
It was good. It was good. And, you know, obviously I'm glad that you've kind of had that discovery of, like, actually it doesn't matter what you do. People will say things, so just be you.
Yeah.
I think as soon as you have that sort of understanding and realization, then that's quite liberating. And I'm glad that you found that. Obviously not glad that what you went through, but I'm glad that you're here now. Let's go back to school days. Ignore the bullying part. What were you like at school? What, you know, in the classroom? Were you quiet? Were you chatty?
I think I was chatty, but I think I was a bit of a teacher's pet, and I would have cried if a teacher told me off. Probably if a teacher told me off now, I would cry. And sometimes at work when people are a bit too harsh, I'm like, don't hurt me. And it's probably because like my parents were never strict on me, like not really strict, you know, like you had parents that would like actually slap their children, but my parents were just like, you go sit on the naughty step.
Fair.
But yeah, I think so. I didn't really ever want to annoy the teachers to the point at which they might say like I'd done something wrong. So it's like there was one time, and I distinctly remember my favorite teacher used to. I used to do chess club with my favourite teacher. I was really good at chess. Chess was great. I would be rubbish now, but I was so good when I was like 8. But yeah, I was like, he was reading us a story or something, and I was sat there with one of my hairbands on. It's like I had my knees up because I sit with my knees up most of the time. I had my knees up next to my chest, and like I had my hairband, and I like put it around my knee, and it obviously pinged off and hit him on the head. And in that moment, I was like.
That's funny.
Oh no, what have I done? And it was fine, but I was freaking out. In my head, I was like, what have I done? And I just distinctly remember this, like, it's my favourite teacher. What have I done? But I wanted to make myself, not the class clown, but like I wanted to be the chatty, noisy one that everybody got on with. I don't know whether I was or not, to be honest, looking back. I was definitely, you know, the one in the situation where like everybody was small at that age, but I was a lot smaller. So it'd be like, oh, look at her, she's only this big, and they'd like put their arms on my head and things when I was walking around, and it was like, yeah, you didn't know that was going to be the rest of your life.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did that to you in Liverpool.
Yeah, I think you did, but that's like, it's fine.
Yeah. I regret that now. Yep.
No, I cared much more about it when I was a kid. But yeah, they did. I think I got on with the guys a lot better than I got on with the girls. I had some really close girlfriends, but I always kind of found like the guys got me. You know what I mean?
I just get on with guys, man.
I think I did.
Girl drama. Yeah. I just get on with guys.
There is a lot of drama. Girls, they are full of drama. So much. It's crazy. It's like, yeah, you can't just have a conversation without somebody being like, oh, did you hear about this?
Did you hear about so-and-so?
Did you hear? But yeah, I think I was definitely just a teacher's pet. I think we used to give out like there were school pens that had like the pen on the name of the school on the pen. In the assembly, everyone would vote for whoever should get the class pen, and I got 13 of them. And I was only in that school for literally like 3 years.
And a collection.
Yeah, like I did keep them for a long time. I don't know if I still have them, but I definitely had them this time last year. But yes.
Who deserves the pen this week, children?
It's always Dboopy.
Has to be Dboopy.
It has to be. And it was lovely though, because I just remember being like, this is the best thing in the world. Because like what they used to do is like hand out little bits of paper. They would say like, this is why I think this person should be the best and should get the pen.
My God.
And it was like, she gave me her pen today to borrow. And it's like, oh, thank you. I did do that. And I was like, she let me use her plimsolls. I did that.
I am amazing. I did that. Yes,
I'm the best. But yeah.
We had a similar thing called the Golden Book, where every week your teacher would nominate people from the class to be in the Golden Book, and eventually there was a bunch of people that figured out a system where you could nominate people to go into the Golden Book. So they would all each week in turn nominate their friends to go in the Golden Book, and like just rotate each week, and they'd always be in.
That's so smart.
What a scam. What an absolute scam.
It is a scam, but if the teachers aren't doing anything about it, use it, like, abolish
ruins the integrity of the Golden Book, that's what I say.
Were you ever in it?
Yeah, actually I was.
I believe that, actually.
I remember once I got in it because I made a good stop-motion animation film. They were like, he actually did it properly. He understood it, and no one else did.
Understood the assignment.
I'm releasing a short stop-motion animation film called Pain, and that we are on my YouTube soon, so check that out.
I will.
Thank you.
You know I will, though. I'm like, Kieran's put. I'll watch that.
Yeah. Okay. I've got one guaranteed view on anything I post to the YouTube channel.
That is correct. So. Yeah.
I'll take it. Only up from here. Only
Yeah.
up from here. Enough about me and my golden book. Outside of school, what did you do? Hobbies, interests?
I played chess outside of school. I used to play chess with my dad, and I also did like chess tournaments when I was a kid.
Dboopy, I'm just going to stop you there. I am not lying when I say I did the exact same thing.
Oh my god. So funny. We were probably in the same tournaments. Or maybe not.
I actually could. My brother was like very good at it, and he went very far sometimes. So there may have been some times where you guys crossed paths.
I had a really big crush. My first crush was on the guy in my like class at school that like played loads of chess. Like, this is amazing. And he once took me. I never forget. Like one of our chess tournaments. Like I went with him and his parents because they were just like transporting us both, and they went to get like chips. And I'll never forget because they were vegetarian. Bearing in mind, I'm vegan now. You know that. Everybody else. I'm vegan. That, yeah. For people who didn't know. And we went to get fish and chips. Thanks. And anybody wants to go vegan, I'll give you some tips. I went with them to get fish and chips, and they were like, "Oh, we're vegetarian. We don't actually eat fish, so we're gonna get like battered sausage or something like this." But it was like a vegetarian sausage.
I was about to say.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, no. I was like, "This is disgusting."
Oh no!
And I remember having this weird like vegetarian sausage. Bearing in mind, this was when I was in primary school, so this would have been like 2007, 2000, that kind of time. And I just remember this revolting, but I was still eating it because I was like, my crush is there, and I've got to look good. And like now, like looking back on it, I'm just thinking about this, like, just eating a vegetarian sausage. I'm like, well, I wouldn't really want one now. I'd want one without. Yeah. So I may never eat a vegetarian sausage again.
Did you impress this person with your vegetarian sausage?
I think I did. We played a lot of Plants vs Zombies that day as well.
Oh, what a classic!
It was good.
What a classic!
Just remember really feeling like I'd scored there. I hadn't, but I really felt like I had.
Poor guy's like listening back now, like, oh, I remember those days. That was nice.
Those were nice. Yeah.
You're ugly.
I used to write. I had a diary, and I used to write like this person kissed. I remember because I remember reading it back so many times. This person kissed a bag of rice and threw it at me. That means he loves me. And it was because it was like harvest.
Clay.
It was like harvest festival, and we'd all had to bring in our food. And he brought in a bag of rice and kissed it and threw it at me. And I was like, oh!
What a gent. That's a classic move of
I think it is, yeah.
Of all men out there. So if you're listening and you're single and you're a male, and it works if you're male, I'm sorry. Just get any food item, packaged or not, kiss it and throw it at the woman you're interested in.
She will swoon.
It is a dangerous power, so use it wisely. Don't just go doing it willy-nilly, because you will have 10 wives.
And
unless you want that. But,
It's like, that's what I've ended up with.
And Dboopy has
10 wives.
Dboopy has 10 wives. Dboopy's using it, and Dboopy has 10 wives.
Yeah.
Hobbies and interests.
Hobbies and interests. I also played football. I played a lot of football. I used to like.
Did you?
Defense.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was in the. Funnily enough, I played football till year 8, and then I got bullied out of it. But I used to love football. I went to football with my best friend at the time. She's like killing it now. You know when you see people on Instagram and stuff, and you can just see that they are having an amazing time. I'm like, yeah, you go, girl. But
good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. But I used to go to football with her, and then we'd come home. But like usually on the way home, her dad would buy us Yorkie bars, and then he'd be like, you can't have them. And it was literally every single week, because they still said not for girls on it. Every single week he'd do the same thing.
I still think it's a classic joke. I think it works every time. I think it does.
It's good. And they shouldn't have. They take it off, didn't they? I'm sure they took it off.
I mean, I understand why, but
it's like, it's definitely sexist, but it was funny, okay?
And it was a great source of dad jokes.
It was definitely.
It was a bad day in dad joke history when they made that decision.
It was so sad. What else did I do? I've always liked art and things like that. I guess that's kind of what, like, the only thing that stuck, I suppose. That's like the only thing that I used to do as a kid that I still do now. I played flute for a bit, and that, that happened.
How far did you get with the flute?
I was like grade 3, I think.
Okay.
Which is not bad. I think I could pick it up and play Frere Jacka now if you asked me. Or
well, that's all you need.
I know, yeah. If somebody gives you a flute, that's what you're going to play, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, for songs, yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But yeah, I think my art's the only thing that actually, like, stuck on. It was that I was, like, the kid that people knew did art. And I think it was a bit kind of like, both my grandpas have been very creative. So my first grandpa died when I was, like, 10, but he used to paint loads. And
cool.
yeah, and, like, did bits and pieces. Used to make music and things, which I suppose is funny coming around circle and me now doing that.
Yeah, we'll come to that later, don't worry about that.
Yeah, but yeah, my other grandpa used to make lots of clay figures, and I've got his kiln now, and pottery wheel and things, which I can't use because we haven't moved out and we haven't got any space for it, but at some point I will.
It's there for safekeeping.
Yeah, and we'll be able to make really cool pottery things, sort of
I look forward to that.
In their memory, I suppose.
Lovely. Well, I mean, you are a very talented artist. That's definitely for sure. I know you won't admit it, but that's definitely true from the bits and bobs that I've seen.
Verified.
Even your VTuber is insane.
Thank you.
So again, we'll come on to that later. I just want to know for my own it might not be in the podcast, but I just want to know for my own personal benefit. What position did you play when you played football?
Oh, defender.
Defender.
Yes.
Nice. We have so many similarities to Dboopy.
I was a bit of a hogger of the ball, to be honest, because every now and then I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna be going out the front."
There's always one on the team.
I know,
There's always one.
But yeah,
and it was Dboopy.
I used to defend with my best friend, and we used to stand on either side, and I was on the right, of course, because I'm right-handed, and that's how I see things. But yeah.
Sorry.
That's how I see things, not politically.
You're on the right side.
I was on the right side of the defending, and nothing else.
But because you're right-handed.
Yes. Does that not make sense?
Are you aware that you don't play football with your right hand?
Wait.
You would play it with your feet.
Are you joking?
Oh no, guys. Oh no.
Kieran. No.
I think they've been playing netball this whole time and was not aware.
Wait.
Oh.
You know what? No wonder they bullied me out of it.
It wasn't bullying. They were trying to give you advice. They were trying to.
Dboopy,
stop picking it up.
So bad.
Stop picking it up.
You're so bad. Stop touching the ball with your hands. It makes more sense. It does.
Wow.
I was never any good.
Come on the podcast, guys. You will find things about yourself you didn't even realise.
I'm learning. I really am.
Exactly.
I'm going to come away from this and be like, I feel like a better person. I know so much more about myself.
I think that's what everyone has said after leaving this podcast. I think that's true. I started the timer late, but I think we're about 25 minutes in, 20 minutes.
I think so.
So if it's okay with you, we're going to move on to the Twitter game.
Yeah, go on.
Now, Dboopy has... Oh, I only use the Dboopy Twitter account, obviously. And the account was only created in like 2021, I think.
Yeah.
And your first tweets were only in March of 2021.
Sounds about right.
You did 3 tweets, and then you did nothing until November, and that's not a lie.
Were those tweets just me drawing pictures of people?
They weren't. I can't remember exactly what they were, but they were just very kind of like generic, like just kind of in a nice way, useless tweets. You know, they were just kind of generic tweets, right? Yeah. So it's not going to be as juicy as like perhaps Jay's podcast, if you listen to that one where he used to be a Tory. That was pretty good. Red had like some from years ago. So did Terry as well, actually, to be fair. But so this would be kind of new ones, but it will still be interesting to see if you can remember your last year of tweets.
Yeah, go
on. My first question is, can you remember the month that you hit 50 followers?
50? Did I tweet about that?
You did tweet about it. Very cute.
No. On Twitch. Okay, let's have a think. So it must have been affiliate. So like November.
That is correct.
Yeah.
It was November 2021, the 16th of November.
16th.
2021. So that's pretty good.
I probably could have guessed almost that, actually. I need to try better.
Oh, I should have challenged you.
I need to be more specific. It's only like a year. I need to be more specific. I'll see if I can guess the date next time.
All right. Okay. I think that your birthday is one day after my dad's birthday. Is it the 8th of February?
It is.
Oh, see, there you go. You two are best friends now, so that's cool.
That is true. We are best friends. We already were. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, no, you're right.
I knew your dad before I knew you.
He doesn't stop talking about you. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, there's other reasons.
There's no way you've come into my podcast and you said that. There's no way. There's no way. I don't have to stand for this. That's unbelievable. I don't know if I want to continue anymore.
That's all right.
I'm calling it down.
Half an hour in. That's it. Dboopy's cancelled.
We're done. We're done. No. It's fine. He's a lovely man. Anyway. This tweet. Can you fill in the blank for me? Husband suggested that the D in Dboopy stands for blank.
Dehydrated?
See, it's too easy. It's too fucking easy.
I can see it. So bad. You know what he said to me earlier? Now, I don't know if I can I swear on here?
Yeah.
It's not really a swear. I said, you got any things I can say, like advice and things? And he goes, you ain't gonna get biddies if you ain't got no titties. So he's always coming out with these beautiful, beautiful quotes.
What's an insightful and profound
I know.
quote?
I feel like I might just.
I should get him on the pod.
You should.
It will change my life.
He's got so much knowledge.
Yeah.
Much more than me.
It's not hard. I'm so sorry. Moving on. I love blank. All I ever wanted was a plain vegan sandwich. They understand. No extra rubbish to make it fancy. Just what a sandwich needs. Here's a photo for visual representation. I ate mine too quickly to take a pic. Who did you tag? What company did you tag?
Did I tag them? Greg's.
You tagged?
That would be Greg's.
You tagged Greg's.
Because I'm thinking, I can taste it. I can taste it. You know, they've come out with a new one, and I haven't tried it yet, but I need to. There's like, it's meant to be like, I think it's cheese, but it's like a ploughman's, so it's got like tomato and lettuce and all those things on top. It's gonna be good. I can taste it.
And for more sandwich talk, tune in next week.
When I tweeted that, I think it was maybe Malachi had posted like, it was early for a sandwich, and I was like, nope, I just posted this in the morning because I was thinking about it from yesterday.
Yeah, you posted it at 6 a.m. Yeah, I wrote that down because I thought it was interesting.
Still thinking about it the day after. I was like, that was a good sandwich.
You do get up very early.
Yeah, I do. That is true.
Is that a conscious choice?
I work from like 8, and it takes about half an hour to walk in. So then I have to like add on the extra time for getting dressed and potentially making lunch and stuff. And by that point, it's like, I might as well be awake. But also, like in the summer, do you not just naturally wake up to the bright ass sun through the window?
I do, and then I turn over.
You're like, oh no, I'm gonna go back to sleep. I can't do that.
That's how I sound in the morning. Yeah.
I don't sound that much different, to be honest. It's only about 10 o'clock when my voice starts to get normal again.
Last one. Would anyone like to hire me as a blank?
I remember writing this. Wait. I don't even remember. I don't remember what I wrote. I remember. Hang on. Would anybody like to hire me?
You better not be Googling this.
Huh?
You better be searching this up.
Oh, believe me, I don't know if... Well, my microphone, you'd pick everything up. You would hear everything.
Okay.
If I was typing, you'd hear me. I've got no idea. Would anybody like to hire me as?
Hype man.
Hype man. Oh, I would. I would hire me.
I think I would.
Yeah.
If I needed a hype man.
I mean, I'm accepting applications. You can just DM me. I'll just like... I'll record my Vvoid doing a little dance, and then I'll send you a GIF. If you want that, you can have it. I mean, people can just have whatever they want on my Vvoid. If people want it, they can have it.
But only for a very expensive fee of £100. Dboopy does not even answer any messages for less.
Does anybody else? I mean, you need to be banking off that.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. They've confirmed it for us. £100 or more.
And you might get a reply.
You might get a reply for £100, I should say. Yeah, that's right. But to actually get the content, it goes into the thousands, 10,000s. So
yeah,
Dboopy is very rich.
It's because I've copyrighted the brand.
I don't understand how it gives you more money, but thank you for sharing.
You've got to pay to use it. You've got to pay to use. I mean, I've copyrighted that shade of pink.
Oh, okay. Talk us through that process.
I think. I'm sure it's just like when you say it enough, that's just how it happens, you know. So like,
okay,
I'm suing
Dboopy
Razer.
Has not copyrighted that shade of pink. They just think they have.
I'm suing Razer for coming up with a similar color. I mean, it was like before me, but it's it's looking too much like mine.
Well, a lawsuit is coming, guys. It's going to be as big as Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, Dboopy versus Razer.
Watch out, though, because you won't hear anything else on your Twitter for the next 6 years.
6 years? That's how long it's going to take. That's the depth of this case, everyone.
That's Twitter. So. That's what Twitter will do. It will do.
It's true. It's true. All I've seen on Twitter recently is how hot it is, and I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I'm aware. I can feel it.
I can feel it in the sweat.
Dripping.
I am gross today. I'm so gross. I keep going to say things to Dboopy. I keep forgetting, and I'm going to blame the heat, but actually, it's just me.
I think it's infectious from me, to be honest. I should have mute myself.
I should have worn a mask. I'm getting it from you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't normally do this, but I'm gonna let's take a quick break from this podcast, and I'm gonna grab a drink because it's too hot. So when we come back, Dboopy is going to perform Frere Jacques on the flute for us.
Yeah.
So take this as your chance to take a break. I might put a joke advert in here if I'm bothered enough. But take a break. Make a cup of tea. Speak to your partner.
He's banished.
Oh, okay. And go outside for a little bit, touch grass. And reach out to that friend that you have been meaning to. So enjoy the break, everyone, and we'll be back soon.
I don't know if Kieran left his recording on, but if he didn't, here's my little song. This is my song for Kieran's recording. Hello, 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 hello. I'm singing to myself in this quiet room, 'cause Kieran's not here and he's gonna go to doom. I don't know what doom is.
And we're back. Welcome back to this delightful season 2 of Kieran's Streamer Stories. And we will now have the promised flute playing from Dboopy. Please take it away. Sorry. We didn't pre-plan that. I didn't know what to expect, but that was a very beautiful playing of Frere Jacques.
Thank
you very much for sharing that with us, Dboopy. That was something else. I'm
a professional.
I can tell by the way you played that. You're throwing me off again, Dboopy. Let's move on to your Come on, Kieran. Oh, get your head in the game.
Get your head in the game.
Don't start singing High School Musical.
We were a mess because in Liverpool we got on so well. We did.
We did. That's true. We did.
Sorry. Let's move on to my Twitch.
No, it's right. Carry on. I want to hear good things about me.
Yes, Kieran is actually really lovely in person. And I'm a bitch.
Keep going.
Yes. Very nice.
You had it first, guys. You had it here. All right. I'm not actually a bully, okay? Like people say I am all the time on here, okay?
That's right. You only put your hand on my head one time.
I think it was twice. Your Twitch, Dboopy. Your Twitch. Your Twitch is unique in the sense that you are faceless. You don't show your face on Twitch, and you have well, I called it a VTuber, but you said something else earlier. What is it called?
I call it a Vroid, but
A
only I think
Vroid.
because I used a program called Vroid, like Studio to make it. So in my head, I just call it a Vroid. But
you're sponsored, I understand.
Yeah, people understand VTuber more, I think, when you say that, and that's the tag that Twitch gives you.
yeah, that's true. That's true. So without going into it too much, why a VTuber? Why not just faceless?
I found like I could bring a bit more sort of character, I suppose. You can I've got like, although I don't use it as much as I could, I've got some hands that I can like wave around if I connect the right things, and I can use little buttons on my little keypad here to make them look surprised or angry, which kind of makes it a bit more exciting for me as I'm coming through. And I think that, like, because I streamed, I don't know how people know this, but I streamed like maybe 3 times back in like May last year, maybe earlier than that. And I streamed with my face and I did some art and I hated it. I hated it so much. And I remember just being like, everybody is looking at me. And they can see my face just looks horrible. And I was watching the views. I was like, nobody wants to come see me. Not like this. And I now, sometimes when I stream, I don't have a top on. Sometimes I stream and no trousers on. And nobody knows that. Nobody's like, you know what I mean? I can just do whatever I like.
Unbelievable.
I could be super comfortable.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. I think taking it a bit serious note, like I think people do struggle with kind of like having their face on a lot of the time. I certainly used to, but I'm chill now because I'm freaking cool.
Yeah, but then when you start off, if like your first thought is I'm really self-conscious about my face, so I don't want to stream, like you're not, you're gonna immediately give up on that. Do you know what I mean? You're immediately gonna say, well, actually, I don't want to do it anymore because if I show my face, I'm gonna be really self-conscious. And I did. That's what happened. That's literally what happened. I streamed 3 times and I was like, that's it. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm gonna be rubbish. I don't want to see my face. And then I didn't.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's also quite tiring being on camera. Like a long time ago, I did a like an 11-hour stream playing this fucking game from start to finish, and like as soon as I was off camera for a little bit, like when I was eating or something, like I felt fine. But as soon as I was on camera, it was like exhausting again. So I think it's a bit of like a mental toll as well being on camera. So if you want to have like just nice comfy vibes, just being off camera, I think it's much better.
So you say that, but then if you want to be comfy for that long, you want a PNG tuber, because my goodness, if you could see what I actually look like behind the Vroid, my head is moving so much more than a normal head to get my head to move. So my like interactions to try and make my Vroid, I naturally do it now. I didn't at the beginning. At the beginning, I didn't know how to like move my hands, and I didn't understand how the tracking software worked quite as well. But now I know what will move my Vroid in certain ways. I naturally express myself more on my face, which is more exhausting because I'm like trying to, although I'm comfortable and it's nice, I don't have to worry about what I look like. Like physically, it's exhausting.
Yeah, definitely. So talk me through the technology behind the thingy. Do you have like one face cam? Do you have sensors? What's going on?
Yeah, so literally I have one camera. So
is that it?
Yeah, so I recently bought the Razer Kio, I don't know, but only because I wanted to be able to use the lighting a bit more, because it like has a light on it, so I can make my camera see my face a bit better, so it can track a bit better. But generally, like the tracking software that I use is called VC Face, which then pulls all the information from the Vroid that I've generated and just says, there's the camera, there's what I can see, and I'm going to project the Vroid to make those faces. And I haven't even set it up to do half the stuff that it would be able to do, because I don't have the energy. Like, I'm quite happy with where it is at the minute, and if I ever decide to change that, that's fine. But for the amount of like CPU it uses and all that stuff, I'm just quite happy how it is. And it's so easy. I just make sure I open it before stream. Although most of the time I haven't opened anything before stream.
Same.
I haven't got my Vroid open. I'm like, which outfit do I wear today? And I've already pressed the start streaming button, and I was sat there looking at the Dboopy will stream soon. I'm like, which one am I gonna wear?
Yeah, definitely. I think that you make it work really well. Like, I think it's a nice part of your stream. It's not the only part of your stream, but it's a nice part of your stream. And I didn't realize how expressive you have to be, but it does flow very nicely into your stream. So it's a credit to you as a streamer.
Thank you very much. I feel like I've put, it's not difficult to make the Vroids, and I recommend people try it out for fun, just to do those kinds of things. But not to necessarily have to stream with it, just to see what it looks like if you track your face on funny things. But just to be able to like change my outfit every now and then. I made like a Bob Velocity one when I was feeling like doing things that were fun and things like that. And I enjoy that creative side of it, because that's how I see most of my streams, really. I just see it as like a creative extension of whatever I'm feeling on the day. That's quite fun to me, just to be able to be like, yeah, I want to have this hair, I want to look this way, I want to recreate this character. Like some of my Vroids, that my Princess Leia one, my Madeline for Celeste, I was so pleased with, and I still use them because I'm still like, yeah, although I made this for a specific game or whatever, I could still use them any time I like. I could just look however I want to look. Definitely,
yeah, and your outfits are amazing, and I like it. I like the different ones you have. I saw, looking through your tweets, Incredibles one, I think.
Yeah.
That looked really good.
I was so pleased with that one. I think was that one I styled, like put me behind a background. I can't remember.
Yeah, you definitely did.
Yeah.
Background.
I was so pleased because I was playing Lego Incredibles, and I was like, right, so I'll make a Lego Incredibles suit. That's gonna be cool, and I love it, and I still wear it sometimes because I still think like, I can just do whatever I like. It's my stream. If I want to wear my Incredibles outfit, I'm gonna do that.
Well, there you go. Everyone wear an Incredibles outfit on stream, and you'll be great.
You'll be incredible.
Yo! Smart, witty.
Witty.
That's what we need on this podcast. More wit.
Lacking in wit.
Yeah, we're lacking in wit. That's why I brought you on.
Thanks.
Your parents are quite involved in your Twitch. Your mum is quite active in the community, and I've seen your dad every now and again. That's obviously a bit unusual for streamers. Talk me through that sort of conversation. How did they get involved? How did they create accounts?
Yeah, so my parents have always been quite sort of into whatever I'm doing at the time. They're the parents that want to know where you're at all the time and what you're doing.
Sure.
But especially my mum. But like my parents were like, yeah, like my mum was like, yeah, I really want to watch your streams. That's fine. And I was like, oh well, let's just take a look at your username, for example, which is not not something that was doxing, but like if people were seeing that username in chat that it was before, like they'd be like, oh, that's whoever, but now they can see Mad Dboopy before they even worry about it, like, oh yes, that's my mum, and they know who it is in chat. Like, all that kind of thing is quite easy now. But I guess the thing to have is the balance, and like, so there's a couple of times, and I can be quite honest about things, me, but like there's one time recently where I messaged my mum. I was like, oh, can you just not watch today? I'm feeling quite anxious. Can you just not watch? And she didn't. And I don't think she did anyway. I don't know. I didn't look at the viewer list, but I'm fairly sure she wasn't watching. And then that relieved that little bit of anxiety I was having on the day. And it's about being honest and being like, yeah, actually, I don't. There's boundaries. You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy for you to watch today. I'm happy for this, whatever. Or like, I don't fancy you saying things about this in the chat. And I'm quite an open person. Although I don't show my like face, I don't really say my name, none of those things. I'm quite honest about the things that I do, the people I meet, the things that I say, all those kinds of things. Like, but that having that boundary and saying, actually, I don't feel comfortable you talking about these kinds of things or saying these kinds of things in chat. I don't have to do much of it. Do you know what I mean? They're quite tech savvy. They know those things, the way around things. But yeah, it's what's interesting is seeing my mum in other other people's spaces. I was like, oh, hello, Mum. And she just popped up in random people's chats. But yeah, Safaf was a great help for that because it meant that she got to follow loads of different people. And from what I know, like, she enjoyed the community side of it, but also like meeting new people and seeing new things. Because I think, for people that, my mum's in her 50s, and she's like doesn't have that sort of friendship group that I have. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I guess I don't know whether people do when they get to that age, but it's like being able to just sit while she worked, I think, and being able to listen to all these different people. She kept saying, "Oh, your friends are really creative," and I was like, "I know, aren't they amazing?" But yeah, it's really lovely, to be honest. Just being able to create boundaries is the main thing, and that was quite easy.
Yeah, no, yeah, and it's clear that you guys are comfortable with it, and you know your mum wants to be there, and you want her to be there most of the time, obviously. Yeah, and it's a really cool dynamic, and she's really lovely as well. I've seen her in loads of people's chats. She came into Dark After Dark once, I think, and immediately regretted
quickly
it.
disappeared.
Run
away!
But it's not on my channel, so it doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah, it's really good to see, to be honest, and definitely a nice part of your stream.
Yeah, well, occasionally then my dad will pop in, and you can tell when or you can tell when it's my dad that's in, obviously with Dboopy, but you can tell when my mum's written something and it's like, that definitely wasn't what mum was saying. That's definitely dad that said that. It's just some pun or some witty thing. It's like, my mum's funny, but my dad, like, is where I got my humour from, I think. My sisters always used to say that, like, my I was the funny one. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's come down from my dad.
No, yeah, I love it when your dad's in chat. You can just tell it's a dad just by the way they text things and say things and what they say. You can just tell it's a dad. I love it so much. Please adopt me into your family. Okay. Please, I need a new family. Please.
We could do that. You can come live with us. Okay. It's all right.
All right.
I'm sure Dboopy won't mind.
Yeah, no, we get on, so it's all right. So, I always like the guests to explain what they do on Twitch themselves rather than me do it. Is that something that you are happy to do?
No.
Ah, shit. Well, fuck off then.
Okay, what do I do? I started by playing Stardew for a really long time. I played Stardew for about 2 months, and then but now I play like random games, whatever I fancy. So like mostly what people call cozy streamer games, but I enjoy just doing whatever I like on the day, and that's what's built up the confidence for me to do random art streams, random music streams, do some like Euro Truck, which has been amazing recently, and do some like extra things, so like my collages that I've been loving, and I just enjoy that total liberty to just do whatever I fancy on the day. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like people are saying like, oh, I only want to see Dboopy for one thing that she's doing. I feel like people understand that if they're following me, they're gonna get whatever I want.
Yeah.
They're gonna get, if I decide one day that I want to play CS:GO, people will be watching that. Okay, I'm not gonna not do that because someone doesn't want me to. I'm just gonna do whatever I like on the day. So yeah.
I would love to see that, by the way. But
yeah, coming next week to a cinema near you.
Next week, guys, into a cinema. Dboopy's live stream of CS:GO. It's gonna be crazy, guys. Make sure you tune in.
Yeah.
I think it's always best to do what you want, because I think, and it's quite a cliche, but when you're enjoying yourself on stream, your streams become like 10 times better. I loads of people I've spoken to have had periods where they didn't enjoy what they were doing, but felt like they had to stream, GeoGuessr or Minecraft or whatever. So I think just having, like you say, the freedom to do what you want means that you enjoy it more, and it makes your streams literally better because you want to be there.
Yeah, people can tell. People, we all know what we sound like when we're feeling a bit grumpy or a bit fed up. Like, we know because we're all people and we all feel those emotions as well. And if I'm sad on a day, people can tell. Like, there's an understanding there, and I think that's where I've just kind of accepted it at this point. Like, if I don't do something that I enjoy, then I'm just not going to enjoy my stream, and I'm going to come out at the end of it like, oh, right, okay, well, that was rubbish. There's many people. But if I'm doing something that I enjoy, I never look at how many people. I've got it switched off there, how many people are watching thing. But if I'm doing something I enjoy and nobody's chatting, then it's all right. Do you know what I mean? It's like, definitely, yeah. Whereas it wouldn't have been maybe a year ago when I first did those couple of streams. I was like, nobody's watching, blah, blah, blah. But if I'm doing something I enjoy, I know that I'm just doing what I would have been doing off stream on stream. Do you know what I mean? I'm just doing some art that I would have been doing off stream, and I'm doing it on stream, and people can see it, and people can enjoy it in the way that I'm enjoying it, and that's the only difference. Yeah, it's just putting it onto the stream.
Absolutely, yeah. Couldn't agree more. You rounded up very perfectly. I've been doing some of those kind of like typically hard games, like getting over it, and I'm doing Pogo Stuck at the moment. It's the sort of thing I would challenge myself to do anyway. It infuriates me, but in like a fun way, you know.
Yes.
You know, a way that I end up throwing my headphones, but that's fun. So, but yeah, it's exactly right. Just whatever I would say, anyone who wants to get into streaming or has had a break, just whatever you would normally do in an evening, stream it.
Yeah.
That's exactly how Dark After Dark came about. Me and Terry, between the hours of about 10 p.m. to about 2 a.m., 3 a.m., would just sit and watch it.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, we're so fucking funny. So why don't we stream some of this? Yeah, why don't we stream some of this? And that's how it was born, and now it's a beautiful BBC Sounds improv comedy podcast. So
it is, and you should go follow Cousin Sloth.
Yeah, the Broken Sloth on Twitch is where that happens.
Yeah.
All my stuff will be on my Twitter and that, so you can find me there.
Don't follow Kaz, just follow Sloth.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, guys. New music video coming soon.
Ooh, can we get a ooh?
Guys, if you're at home, I don't care where you are, public, at home, wherever, you all need to go ooh.
If you don't do that, I am actually going to come over and knock your door down and give you a little punch on the nose, because that was an easy task.
It was.
That was easy.
It really was, and we can tell you he doesn't. We have the technology available.
Yeah.
So.
And I've recorded everybody who's just done it, and it's going to be in my new music coming out soon.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a great segue to your new music that you're doing on streams. I have to say, and I've been meaning to say this to you for a long time, you have some really fucking annoying talent for music. Because Dboopy just goes, okay, I'm going to make a song today. I want it to sound like this. A doop-a-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And then within about 10-15 minutes, your song sounds exactly like that. And it pisses me off as someone who does music and cannot, just struggles to find melodies sometimes. It pisses me off that you could do that.
I appreciate that. I do, because I don't. Although I grew up like doing musicy things and my family is musical, like I don't understand the software in the way that I would like to. And that's the kind of things that pushes me back, I suppose. But I hear music in my head all the time. I do hear it in my head all the time. When I'm walking around, I can hear things, and sometimes I like make little voice notes or things like that. But generally, like if I think of a song when I'm walking around, I've forgotten it by the time I get home.
Oh, same. Yeah,
it's like, I mean, you could tell when I do my streams, it's like, oh yeah, I want it to sound like this. The other day, I had to get Jamie to literally go back and clip the bit of thing where I was singing it so that I would come back and actually remember what I wanted it to sound like, because my memory is so bad. But I appreciate that you think that it comes out how I think it in my head.
No, it really does. And it's not because you have perfect pitch or anything, because it does take, 2 or 3 attempts sometimes.
Yeah.
But you can literally kind of like map it out and go, well, that bit doesn't sound right, but that bit does. And that, to me, that's a very good talent to have. And they are really enjoyable to watch. I mean, I am, like I said before, a bit of a musical person, so it might be why, but your music streams are great. What sort of inspired you just to pick up, Ableton and start doing it?
Well, I asked anybody if they had any like music software, and you were like, yeah.
Oh, what can I say?
I've got Ableton, and I was like, oh, please. I was like, send me a DM, send me the information, send it to me. And then I played around a little bit. Like, I was like, I made a little bit of music and whatever. And it wasn't great. But I was like, you know what? This is another thing. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying myself. I'm going to have fun. So I might as well just stick it on a doodah. Stick it on a stream. See what happens. See if people like it. And if nobody likes it and everyone goes, this is rubbish, don't do it again, then I won't do it again, and that's fine. But, like, I think people enjoy it. I mean, you obviously have, so that's great. But I love doing it.
Definitely.
It's so sort of calming, and especially like not having to choose what music I want to listen to on stream, because I'm literally making it as I go. Yes, that's a win.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't really tend to go watch VODs back after a stream, but all your music ones I just put on the background and just do shit with, and it's really enjoyable.
I want to make more. I really do. I think It's just finding whenever I want to do it. Yeah, whenever I fancy
definitely.
it.
I'll definitely encourage it, and I look forward to the album, like I said before.
Yes, when I can make like a serious amount of decently good. That's the other thing. The other things that I've made so far are like 30 seconds long. So I need to actually make genuine like 3-minute songs because that's what people do.
It's much trickier than it seems. I have a bunch of sort of like songs that I've made like sort of just for myself, and finding like that time, like 3 minutes, is very hard without just using the same sort of recipe over and over again. So it's definitely a skill that is, I think, is very hard to master.
Definitely.
I mean, there might be some people out there who are much better at it than me, but definitely is a hard thing to do. But it's all part of it, and it's really cool to see you sort of like developing those skills and having fun with it. And I think you've inspired a few people in chat to have a go a few times as well, which is, you know, amazing.
I mean, that's the goal, isn't it? I suppose it's not the goal, but like that's a cool outcome. That's a cool thing to come of it. I mean, if anybody's making art because they've seen me do art and they've gone, that's so cool, I want to do art again. That's amazing. That's so like exciting for me to see that people are getting back into the things that they love. Because when I was doing art when I was a kid, I was just be so frustrated because I didn't have a style. I don't have a style now. I don't have like a specific way that I draw, and I hated that. I hated it so much because I was like, I can't draw anything twice the same way. And like that was so frustrating. But now I know that if I just do some art and it comes out however I like, this might be a good piece of art by itself. And like it might look great with the other stuff. If not, it's gonna look great by itself and it's fine. And just to be able to produce whatever, just throw things out, see what happens, see what sticks on the wall. Because then you've got a humongous portfolio of things that you can look back on and be like, this was a great idea. And that was a great idea. I'm going to put them together and then create this. And that's what I like about my collages as well. I love the collages. And when people say, I want to do a collage, I'm like, yay! Somebody wants to do a collage. I'm going to stick all of their favourite things into one picture. Or we're going to do a Sonic like collage. You could do a Pac-Man collage.
I saw that on V's Instagram actually the other day.
Yeah. So exciting. So exciting.
For listeners who don't know, Dboopy has a channel point redemption on her channel where you can just basically say, make me a collage now. And it can be about anything, I suppose, but normally it's about the person that's redeemed it. And you've done a bunch now.
I've done a bunch.
People kind of like submit pictures and you like put it together in a really like creative way.
Yeah, we like just stick them all together, stick them all in a cool functioning, I suppose picture, which then represents you or represents the thing that you love or the thing that somebody else loves. Make a collage for your wife. Make a collage for your child. There you go. I've sold myself there, haven't I?
Yeah, no, couldn't done it any better.
Thank you.
I'm just looking at them now on your Discord actually, and I didn't see that you done the Gundalf one.
I knew that was coming.
That.
Yes.
I'm gonna use that for later. That's all I'm gonna say.
The Gundalf one is especially good.
It's amazing, definitely. So, get yourself on Dboopy's channel, get yourself some channel points, and get yourself a freaking cool collage.
Get one.
So much to talk about, so much to do, but we are running out of time. What I wanted to end this on was something I think is an interesting discussion. So, in our little Sif-Off community, the community of streamers that we're in, I think since going to Liverpool, having a real life meetup, we've become even closer as a community than we were. A lot of collaboration is happening on stream.
Yeah.
And my initial question to you when we spoke a few days ago was going to be, should we do collaborations? But I think the answer to that is yes. But my question is, how do you do collaborations on streams? Is it, so let's say you're playing with 2 other people on a game. Is it all 3 of you stream the game? Is it one of you streams the game? What's your opinion on this? I'm curious.
I think so. It's always difficult when you're multi-streaming, and I am not very good at it because I don't understand the techie side of it. But to get it so that you can talk to your chat and they can talk to their chat, but also you can talk to each other's chats, and it's very very confusing. And I don't know the best way to like combat that issue because that's not something in itself. And what I found, because I did a stream recently with Gundalf, was that I actually couldn't run his stream at the same time, so I couldn't see his chat, and then I couldn't interact with those people. But really, the main thing It's making sure that you are engaged with the person you're streaming with. Like, make sure that you are having a good time with them, so that then everybody can enjoy themselves. Do you know what I mean? Make sure that like you're not just streaming alongside each other, and it like you could just have one person streaming. Like we've done Minecraft streams. I've done Minecraft streams where like it's just been me like on the actual stream, and everybody else has been playing Minecraft alongside, and that was all right. Like you can still interact with people, but if you're not enjoying yourself, then you're just fucked, really, aren't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the best way is to just make sure that, well, people are going to moan about the audio. People always moan about audio. There's something about people in audio, and I do get it because it does frustrate me when the audio is wrong. But if somebody's quieter, it's like if I'm in your like in your stream and I'm sounding like this and you can't hear me at all, and then somebody else is really really, really loud, like that's somebody will pick up on it. Somebody will. Oh god. But yes,
I think that's true.
Sort your audio. Is that the
Sort
answer?
your audio out.
Sort it
I think
out.
that's easy fix. I think like things like that, they're an easy fix. I think that's fine.
You reckon? Do you want to fix mine?
Yeah, I'll come over. I'll do it. It's fine.
Yeah, could you like fix all my sound as well whilst you're at it?
Yeah,
all the different sound alerts, everything.
Yeah, I just everything. I'm a professional.
That'd be great. I'd appreciate
that.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, no worries.
I realised that was a bit of a all over the place answer, but I think most of my answers have been so far. So I'm just, it's part of the brand. It's part of
I think somewhere in there was an answer, so I'll take it. No, I think I agree with mostly what you were saying. I think my main issue with collaborations is that like people don't like mute when they're talking to their own chat. I think if if 2 people, 3 people are streaming at once and you're responding to your own chat, it's just a generic comment that doesn't relate to the people you're playing with. You got to like push talk. You got to like mute up.
Yeah.
And just respond to that. And I think that's fine to respond to that and like to go quiet for a little bit or to mute for a little bit and be like, oh, yeah, that's cool. How was your day? But like when you're just having a conversation with someone in your chat and it's not relating to the game or the other people, I think that's when it gets messy.
I do agree with that. I didn't do that because I couldn't figure out the actual mechanics of it when I was doing that with Gandalf, but I absolutely agree. I do.
I'm not having a go. No.
I didn't. No, but like you're completely right because there's something that when you're on the other end of it and there's like this kind of awkward silence of you having to listen to what they're talking about, which but in reality I haven't done that many collaborations now that I think about it, not a whole bunch, and I suppose that's whether it's because I don't understand the audio side of it. The Euro Truck Sim collaboration came around because I just messaged Gundaf in the morning and I was like, do you want to play Euro Truck with me? do you want to play Euro Truck with me? But yeah, and it was great fun, although the audio wasn't perfect, and I do agree that like you do need to make sure that you're actually interacting with your own chat quietly, not not making loads of noise into other people's streams because it'll bleed.
It's okay if like someone does it once or forgets to mute, but when it's like 3 streamers talking to their own chats across all 3 streams,
that's messy.
It's messy, and like it makes the people who are not involved in the conversation like, oh well, I can't entertain my stream now because I'm talking over you. But no, it's not good for my stream. But it's a tricky skill. I think to get that down is a bit of a skill in itself. But I think as long as the content that you're making with a person is entertaining, then that's like the bare minimum you have to do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, if you're enjoying yourself, everybody else will, for the most part, unless you're being a dickhead, in which case you can piss off, can't you?
Yeah, but that's what happens when you play with you.
Well,
you have to deal with it sometimes.
I know. It's a burden that everybody has to take.
yeah, apparently so.
Yeah,
you're just always there.
I
am
usually there. That there are rarely times that I am not there. You may think I am not there, but I am.
Wow, you heard it here first, guys. Dboopy is always watching. No one is safe.
Nobody is safe.
Ooh. No one's safe. I think we've hit the hour mark, Dboopy.
Okay.
Is there anything that you would like to conclude this podcast with?
No.
Well, there you go. Thank you so much for listening, everyone at home, whether it's on Spotify or YouTube. Dboopy, where can they find you?
They can find me at twitch.tv/Dboopy or Dboopy something on Twitter or Dboopy something on Instagram. I've got a Discord, which is, that's a Discord, but that's about it.
Lovely.
And if you're wandering around the street and you just hear my voice, I'm also there.
Run as fast as you can. That's my advice. It's Dboopy1 on Twitter.
Thank you. Dboopy1 on Twitter. You can
the first Dboopy.
The first one. Actually, I think I wasn't the first one because somebody else took Dboopy, which is quite sad, to be honest.
Well, I think you can sue them probably now.
Yeah, I think I probably could.
I actually googled your name for some reason today, and your Twitch immediately came up. So
wow. So we can finish this podcast by saying, I'm famous.
You're number one on Google.
I am number one in the entirety of Google. I am number one.
I'm gonna make a request right now. Are you able to play us out with that flute playing?
Yeah. Do you want me to? Do you want me to sing something? I'll play something a bit more emotional.
Yeah, I want to cry.
You ready?
So if you could play us out,
okay, let me just
take it away. Subscribe on YouTube.
Near, far, wherever.
The flute talks.
Dboopy goes on.
Wow.
Thank you.
Emotional. Everyone, go subscribe to Dboopy. Thank you for listening.